tweet something like that, 9,000 retweets. And this is helped build the brand a little bit?
I think, there's so many different sources of journalism and information out there, and everybody out there is a journalist nowadays. Everybody can take pictures and video, put it on YouTube, and so the key now is, can you consistently post information that's reliable, that's credible, and can you develop a following? So whether you're CNN or whether you're an independent journalist, can you put information out there that people believe, that's really impactful, that influences the debate, but is also trustworthy and credible? So, it's the same whether it's radio, which we don't find out there, whether you're a comedian or whether you're a journalist. There are a lot of people out there who want to be doing the same thing. The question is, can you bring a product that's higher quality than everybody else?
Right. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of brothers in this crazy mixed up world. You're kind of entrepreneur, starting the show. I started the show. You had me on your show.
You were a great guest. You were a terrific guest. We still have that up on our podcast, weatradio.com.
Yeah, check that out if you want to hear me talk about my dad.
That station.
Do you know about internet radio, Dad?
No.
I know about the internet.
I have Al Gore.
That's exactly what he said.
Right, completely false.
I know everybody in Rock Hill, I didn't really mean that you don't have radio.
No, we love Rock Hill here in New York City. Right in New York City. South Carolina, come on and raise up.
I worked for 2 years when I was starting my career. I started in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I spent a couple years in Washington, D.C., grew up in Indiana, went to the University of Michigan. Any Michigan grads out there? But anyway, so first time I'd ever lived in the South. And in Washington, you used to calling people up for an interview, and they say, sure, no. And we would have people say, well, I don't know if we want to give an interview, but you can come on over, we can visit for a little while. And I was like, what? that isn't it. And he said, no, come on, so we come on over and chat. I said, well, you keep the cameraman outside and we talk about nothing. I said, okay, you can bring a cameraman in. You ask a difficult question and they begin every sentence with, do what? Well, were you involved in it? Do what? Do what? Yeah, so then you have to clip every interview. You have to clip out the do what because you don't want to make them seem like utter rednecks. So yeah, I can't go to Rock Hill. I'm going to be fired by Al Gore.
This is going really well. So you spent a lot of time in real newsrooms. Now, how similar is that? Do you know where this is going? How similar is the real newsroom to what we might see on Aaron Sorkin's The Newsroom? Have you seen that show?
Yeah, I've seen the show, and there's a woman in the audience who's holding up a sign that says, "It can be better."
The show?
The fact of the matter is America sucks, and we're like 19th in terms of education and 20th. Here's the thing about the newsroom, and actually my fiance Pure Renner, who happens to be the audience. So we watch this because it's sort of mildly entertaining. The plot lines are really annoying. But the thing that's so amazing to us is that when I was doing shows at MSNBC or Fox or whatnot, you've got a lot of people who are sort of like to be in TV. In this particular environment, you have like 20 kids who all know exactly who to call. And they're going to call their sources, and they're going to get this information. We're going to call this person. They're doing all the things that you would dream somebody would do if they're working in a newsroom. In the newsrooms that I've worked on, at least on cable TV, if we had 2 people on our staff who had actually read the front page of the New York Times that day, we'd be doing great. They don't have those sort of like ripper samples that they have in the newsroom. If we did, we'd be producing 60 Minutes every day. Instead, it's cable news. So.
I gotta say, Jeff Daniels is pretty good, Chris Matthews.
I think it's a combination between Chris Matthews and Keith Olbermann, and he sort of looks a little bit like.
Yeah. I can't look at Jeff Daniels without flashing back to that scene in Dumb and Dumber. Bringing back the turds when he's on the toilet. Jeff Daniels, this show especially. Jeff Daniels will always be Harry Dunn to me. I'm sorry. Well, look, you have your fiance here, and you're living in New York now with her?
Yeah, I'm sort of commuting back and forth between New York and DC because some work responsibilities keep me down here, but this is the first time I'm becoming a New Yorker. I'm learning how to stop the cabs and figure out which ones will pick you up. I'm learning how to yell at people and say, "Hey, you fucker!" Which, when you're from the Midwest, the first time you come, you're like, Kira and I, we met at a summer camp.
Yeah,
we kids. A Jewish summer camp when I was 20, she was 15. She was, I was dating somebody who was 13. No, Kira was dating one of the guys in my bunk. But anyway, it's this Jewish summer camp, and for kids from the Midwest, from Indiana, who live a pretty sheltered life, it was the first experience I had ever had being around kids from the East Coast. Now, you can imagine, when you're a teenager and you show up at camp and there's some kid who says, "You leave my fucking stuff alone!" And you're like, and in Indiana, if you hear the F word, you're like, ripped and sent to the shed.
100 free throws.
And yeah, with both basketball. And so ever since then. So ever since then, I was scarred as a kid. I didn't want to come back to New York. I thought everybody was loud and obnoxious and frightening, and so it took several years to sort of get used to the idea that actually New York's a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
Everything's convenient, people are vibrant. It's it represents all of America. It's not just lily white. It means all kinds of stuff.
It's only the Jews that are loud and obnoxious and vibrant.
And they're the only ones allowed on the Upper West Side.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, I met a girl at a UJA casino night when I was 16, and we dated for a little bit. Let's just say, Jen Volk, if you're out there, there's hope for us yet. We'll be married one day too. Right?
Not after this interview.
Well, Dave, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. And Take Action News, check it out. And the podcast iTunes is available. Current TV, doing awesome stuff. I really enjoy it. And welcome to New York.
Thank you.